Walking Macau Streets. Dear Lord, show me a sign. Give me a map. Oh yeah.
So this Patio de Illusion, I believe is an opium reference, illusion. And I love this archway right here. This street right here, Patio das Seis Casas. This is where there's a Russian artist who lived here in 1800s. So this is called Travessa de Mata-Tigre. So we're just gonna follow this little street here. And there's actually a lot of interesting stuff in here, including, you can see these kind of Lingnan style homes over here. That's Seis Casas, that has a lot of history to it. There's just a lot of interesting little alleys in here. And over here there's also the Illusion Patio, which has opium reference, I believe. Unless I don't have that correct. But this little alley is going to be our focus today, and we're going to bring you into that patio as well. And in this Mata-Tigre, it's going to go all the way down through this building, and then we're going to go all the way to this other side, kind of going towards Lilau Fountain. So stay tuned, and this is going to be Travessa de Mata-Tigre. So this is going to be our target street right here, Travessa de Mata-Tigre. So we're going to walk down that way in a moment. And we're just going to kind of highlight the different stuff, as well as these little alleys like Abru. It's like a French lane. But this is the one I want to look into first. So we're still at our Travessa de Mata-Tigre. And then that one is the Patio de Illusion. So we're going to walk into that one. And also at this space too, we have a small little shrine. That has a reference to George Chinnery. So in this space near this Travessa de Mata-Tigre, we have a lot of history. A lot of history. And I think this one alludes to Illusion. Such a cool looking building. I wish there was a way that you could fix these up, do something with them. But these little patios in here, it's really cool. That's somebody's home. That home has a lot of shrines in it. Yeah, somebody owns this, right? So this Patio de Illusion, I believe is an opium reference, illusion. And it's right at the base of our Tigre. And then this style of this is Lingnan style, which is like the, I think some of the patios have this kind of style in them. It's really cool looking. And I love this archway right here. And actually this little space does get into tourist areas. Like it's usually more the people that really want to get into the intricacies. This is our target street, Travessa de Mata-Tigre. There's a small shrine right there. Usually I always end up targeting that as well, but I think today we're just going to go all the way down Mata-Tigre. And I also just want to highlight some of the small streets along the way as well. So this street right here is called Travessa de Ibrao. And then this just goes up to, I think it's Padre Antonio Street, I think, or Rua Central. Those are two streets that go into each other. And that actually goes to the Mandarin House is close. There's a lot of tourist sites in this space, in this area. And then this is kind of more like pedestrian friendly, no cars at all, just motorbikes can get in here, but there's actually some stairs that even limit them. So there's some limitation to what they can. Here's more of that Lingnan style homes. I think Lingnan style is kind of like a style that is kind of common throughout this part of China. I don't know where the perimeters are exactly, but it's definitely influenced in Macau and other parts. This street right here, Patio das Seis Casas, this is where there's a Russian artist who lived here in 1800s, and he lived in these homes. So this actually has tour groups could take people here, but there's a lot of other stuff to see as well, so they may or may not. But for people that are interested in the famous people. So that's part of the alleyway of the patio down in that way. And we're gonna come down this way. There's somebody who's working on his stuff down there. But basically, historically, this is the size cases mean 6 homes. So this is like the patio of 6 homes. And this Russian Smirnov used to live here. There's like 3 Guayins and then the God of War. It's like intermissararies. So yeah, this home, this area right here, is kind of a style that they were doing in Macau at a certain time period, where people would have these little patios, and there were usually like families that would have it all together. And then this particular one, they're saving it, and it kind of has historical value. So now there's people that are trying to make an effort to preserve it, and maybe even make it into some kind of, maybe a future museum or something like that. And then down that way is Illusion, which was the first one that we looked at, which also has some of that same historical value to it. Okay, so we're gonna keep on going down Mata-Tigre. Here's the music. So I think that way, this one, people can take music lessons, guitar, drums, things like that. Okay, so we're gonna be able to walk through this little alley in a moment, but we're just gonna give you a little context of everything as well. So this is the main part of Mata-Tigre. So you can still see Travessa de Mata-Tigre right there. And then this little space goes down into Praia de Manducelo, I think it's called. It's like a hawker street. And Praia is beach, so that used to be a beach road. And then they reclaimed the land, and it kind of made the island of Macau, peninsula of Macau, a little bit bigger. I think our Mata-Tigre actually goes through here. I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna walk through this in a moment. But anyways, this is a little calzada, dos remedios, and it goes into, so there's some pretty cool stuff all around here. So this is just kind of the upper street of it, and then it kind of goes downhill a little bit, and goes all the way downhill to that direction. But we're gonna walk through this Camfu Loe garden, some kind of garden style apartments. Always interesting. So this one goes all the way through. They have little signs that say ban pet urine. I guess that makes sense. I guess dogs would be tempted to come in here and urinate, wouldn't they? And I guess it's a little bit like private, but it's also like people live here. They don't want that to smell like urine at all. I think the reason they put it in bilingual is there's a lot of Filipinos that live in this area. They will speak English. Of course, other foreigners as well. And then actually this actually turns into a patio, so Patio do Pinedo. So our Mata-Tigre will end, and this will turn into a little patio. So we saw a few patios on the street. And then we're gonna go all the way down to the end. And then this actually goes all the way out to Lilao. That's the patio right there. And then this goes down into Praia de Mandacela. So that was our target street, Mata-Tigre, and because we're kind of in a cool little meandering spot right here, I'm just going to bring the camera to Lilau Fountain just to give you a little context. So we're going to go through a few other streets. This one's Travessa de Antonio de Silva. There's another, we're going to keep going that way. But there's also a little patio right here. It's kind of cool. That angle photogenically is really nice. And so this street will meander by the Mandarin House in a moment. And Lilau Fountain is this little park straight here, so we're gonna end it there. But this white building right here, I think that's also kind of that Lingnan style too that we saw in the alleys. But this is what a very prominent business person, and this was his mansion. And it's called the Mandarin House, and it's a tourist site. So yeah, kind of a cool looking building. And then we're going to be going straight to Lilau. And we're going to go across the street here in a moment. Okay, so let me see if we can get across. I guess we can. And now we're in Lilau. So there's Largo du Lilau. Largo means square. You got a kiosk right here. The fountain is directly over there. And then you kind of have all this beautiful trees and architecture. And so our target street was Mata-Tigre. And it was basically down that little alley. And if we wanted to, we could actually go in a circle and go up that way a little bit. And we could go in a little bit and we'd be right at Mata-Tigre, right at our start. So it's basically a lane that's parallel with this one right here, called Rua do Padre Antonio. So on that note, we are going to end this picture video. So, little slice of Macau. 2024. Let's check out Macau. Come on.
Toma cuidado la voz